What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Champion Living Podcast, the only podcast crossing the lines between the sport of rodeo and fitness. Today's episode, the boys are back together.
Whoop, whoop.
We're catching up on all the things, all the new things with the families. God, all three of us just have a whole lot of life going on, and then we check in on some carbohydrates. Why we think that carbs are your friend, not your enemy. We're getting it rolling here. Let's go.
1,599 all-time downloads, bitches.
Bro,
We're gonna
almost
we're gonna hit 100 next month.
100,000 downloads.
Freaking bonkers. And people are going back and listening to the beginning because almost every episode now, other than like 3, I think, starting at episode 66, but 67 has 997. So, basically every episode from 67 on has over 1,000 downloads.
Wow. That's cool.
From 67 back to 1,
That's awesome.
and the other ones will catch it.
That is awesome.
That
Sorry,
is-
my internet just lagged hard.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, I wonder if that's me or if that's usually mine's sucking. So I'm not gonna talk too much smack yet. Wait till we get this. Wait till we get this over before I talk smack about my internet. Man, we've all had a lot of life going on here lately. I feel like I mean, just life is coming at everybody so fast.
Yeah, you're not
really is.
joking.
Really,
We haven't
really
podcasted.
is.
We haven't recorded in a minute. We've had
Yeah.
some. All had some life things happen that haven't let us get together. So
Yeah.
it's good to see you guys' faces.
It's good to be back.
Mm.
Got the band back together. Oh, Logan's like, debatable.
No, I
Exactly.
couldn't have enjoyed it actually.
Yeah, well,
That's funny.
we could do
How's
this
the,
we all
uh,
wearing
time
black
with
shirts,
fires.
so that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. We planned it. How's the baby, Paul?
Baby's great. So, yeah, everybody. I have a new baby now. It did finally happen. And if you listen to episode, I think 81, all of the things that I was like afraid of happening, all happened. Like every single one of them. So, I think we were talking smack about women going to the hospital too early. Well, we did that and we got sent home. And then I think we were talking smack about not getting there in time to like get the epidural and everything. Well, we did that too. So she went all natural, which was cool. I mean, it was scary, like really scary, but like Logan had said after Lacey had her baby, like it's a totally different like experience. Like
You can't
It's
look at her
nuts.
with the same eyes, dude.
no,
I can't see
like,
that woman with the same, and in a good way. It's like
I knew
whew.
I knew she was tough after the first two, and like she had all the good drugs that Western medicine can provide, and after this last one, it's like holy cow! Like
yeah.
I hope she doesn't ever try to fight me, like for real,
And
because
even more so for Heather
I
because
don't think I can take her.
she didn't have the time to like mentally prep herself. See, Lacey,
None.
like for 6 months, had been like mentally preparing herself for
Mhm.
what was to come, and was like, reading and listening to podcasts and coming up with a game plan, like like wartime game plan, a battle plan for having this baby. And it was just like show up for Heather. It was just show up at the hospital. Hey, you're actually not getting an epidural. You're about to have this baby all natural, like
Yeah, it is
sprung
coming
right
right
on
now.
her. So that's
Yeah,
crazy.
We weren't in the hospital a total of 45 minutes before there was a baby in her arms. It was nuts. Like
Kaboom!
It-
You
yeah,
almost
and it
had
was
that in the car.
we did, and she didn't believe me, like because she like I said, she already got sent home earlier in the day. Like the contractions were kind of getting like rough, and she's like, well, just take the kids home and I'll drive myself to the hospital and just go see like where we're at. I'm like, that's not a good idea. Let me drop you off at the hospital. I'll wait outside. If they say like we're getting close, I'll make some phone calls, get the kids taken care of, and I'll join you. I said, if not, like, because she was very confident that she wasn't really progressing but was in some pain, and so they did end up sending her home. And then when the contractions were like inside of 2 minutes apart, I was like, we are going back now. And she's like, they're just going to send me home again. I said, no, they are not. If they do, we are waiting outside. Like, we are not leaving that hospital. Like, we are there. Like, this is nuts. Like, she couldn't, like, they were so bad. Like, she's like can't even breathe through them. Like, she can't talk at all. Like when they're coming on and stuff. It was nuts. And then not being able to have the epidural, like when she finally realized like that was the case, like her eyes just like the life left them. Like
I can
she
only
was
imagine.
scared,
Like
scared out of her mind. And I was like, oh gosh. And like I broke. Like, man, like that just like I can't explain it, but like seeing somebody you love like completely lose faith in themselves, like that was it was nuts. It was so hard. And luckily the nurse that was there like grabbed her by the collar and was like, you're gonna do this, you're like, you can do this. And she's giving her this great pep talk. I'm like, I'm so glad you're here because I'm bawling my eyes out. I can't do this.
Paul's hiding underneath the bed.
I can't help him. No help. Yeah.
That's awesome. That is so cool. So cool. Good for you.
We ended
guys.
up getting a beautiful little baby girl out of it, so it was all good. Heather was good. She's, hindsight 2020. She's glad that everything happened the way it did because like the recovery's been good and everything, and she's feeling good. Baby's doing great. Like it's been good.
That's good, awesome, man. Congrats to you guys.
Thank you.
You gonna have another one?
So when see, that's another cool story. Like when they set the baby on her chest, they do like the skin to skin right away, and then everybody just left the room. Like they just left us alone for an hour, and they're like, we're not going to clean her up, we're not going to do anything for an hour. Like you just get time with the baby. I thought that was unique to our other two experiences. And like when we were sitting there by ourselves, she's like, my heart's full now. She's like, I feel like my work is done. Like I can be good with 3. But then we get home and she's like, well, maybe we could have another one. So we'll see.
Logan, any advice for that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't look at me for advice. I am the worst person to tell you. Lacey yesterday, she's like feeling really nauseous. And then in the afternoon, she's like, I am so tired. I'm like, oh no. So I don't think so. She's been fine, but like, yeah, she's been okay today and up until that point. But I'm like, dude, like 4 is a large family. Okay, 4 is a large family. 5 children is like, okay, we can no longer do things like Conley wants to do, like gymnastics. It's like, no, we're like now that size family that like we can't afford for you to do those things because we have it's like 5, like 7 of us is a little bit, and I'm not like saying that it doesn't work for other people. They make it work and they love it, and I love that. I would probably have a panic attack if we had 5 children.
5 kids, you're getting on that level where you're like, you start your little subsistence farm and homeschool, and nobody leaves the farm. Everybody works.
We're going off the grid for sure. I'm buying some chickens. We've already got sheep. We just bought another goat for Conley to start flanking. Like I'm definitely going off the grid if we have 5 kids for sure. Off the grid, I don't know that I could handle. I don't know that I could handle it. But not that I can handle 4 kids. Let's be honest. I'm sitting in my RV recording a podcast while my wife's parenting. So.
Oh man.
Anyway,
well,
that's
good.
Good.
Big month for you guys.
Yeah.
Big month for you too, man.
Kids.
I mean,
yeah.
And we got our marriage license this week.
That's awesome. They're all coming together.
It's really happening.
Yeah, it's really happening.
Really doing it, Harry.
So did you have to? Was that like one of the main reasons for going up to Montana this weekend was to get the marriage license? You had to get it in Montana.
Where you're getting married, and whoever the officiant has to sign it and stuff after the wedding or whatever. But we went and visited the venue as well, which it's killer, dude. It's going to be awesome. It's just like this old barn, and it's got big ass trees all around it. It's cool. The view's unreal. And then we bought a house. I don't know what I was thinking there, but
that's so awesome.
For like 6 months.
I love
And,
it because
yeah.
you're just like, you've been talking about like possibly buying a house like a little bit. I've been looking around a little bit here, a little bit there, kind of looking around. But then I'm like, we talked while you were gone, and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, we're looking at houses. I was like, how's that going? He's like, I think I just bought one. I was like, oh, okay, we did it. We pulled the trigger. I love that. So that's super exciting.
Super cool, man. Still not, closed on or whatever, but
Yeah.
I would have a good feeling it's going to be just fine. And it is everything we ever wanted in a house, and get to live right next to Richie. So it was, I don't know, I feel like a meant to be kind of thing. Just fell
That's
into
so
our
cool.
lap. Literally, the house came on the market the day we got there.
Oh,
Someone
wow.
made an offer on it the morning that we saw it. And so the realtors are like, this just came up on the market, but also someone's already made an offer on it. So if you are interested, you have to do something like today.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like we went and looked at all the houses after, and I was like, that's the one. That's exactly what I want.
Yep.
And Al was, the same. And I was like, let's go. And then all of a sudden we're there, and it was funny as hell, because we get back to the house after my brothers, and we're having like dinner. You can just see it in her face. She's like, what did we just do? Like, oh God, we're really committed to this one now. We're moving to Montana. But I'm
so
really,
cool.
really happy to be going up there. It's different, man. It's slower. It's awesome. It's exactly what we're looking for. I walked outside and only heard birds. Didn't even hear a car. It's like, I don't remember the last time I heard that, to be honest. Just constant, and you don't realize it. It's like gray noise, right? Or whatever you want to call it. But just in that background, you're constantly cars going by, shit's happening here. And it's not like it's really, really packed where I'm at, but it's definitely getting busier, and they're just building more and more on top of each other. Out there, everyone that lives there, you can tell, does not want that to happen. So they're really taking care of their places and not really allowing like that big blow up. And I kind of enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
No, the area that you're currently in that's expanding very rapidly.
And not to be mean, but it's not expanding with the type of people I really enjoy to be around.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And that's Montana, man. That's a great shift, like, because that's
I think
more
it's a perfect shift.
Yeah,
where we're going, and it's still, well, I feel like every state is like this, but those cities are all super blue. Everything around it really red when it comes to like, how people look at things, and it's just getting worse here. Like the governor just passed a law that it's okay for like kids as younger as 8 or 9 to go under some kind of sex change or something, and I'm like, we got to get the fuck out of here. This is not good. Like I don't want to be any part of that. I don't want to be around people that do that. I'm out. So it's all working out, man. But yeah, this Colorado to Montana, I am fired up. Cannot wait to be up there. Can't wait to get you guys up there, man. You guys are gonna freak out.
Yeah, I'm so excited
fishing.
to see it.
Yeah, as soon as you tell me what your actual close date is, I'm gonna book a ticket for like 2 weeks later. I'm coming. I'm fishing, man.
Good. I'll need some help. I'll need some help backpacking.
Yeah. Put us to work for a couple days.
Oh, it's gonna be a busy June, dude. We got all of my friends decided to get married this year that aren't married yet. So we got one of my best friends gets married in June. I get married in September. My other good buddy literally gets married the week after me in September.
Oh wow!
And we're all in each other's weddings. So it's like, whoa, we kind of messed that up, all right. But we're gonna get it all done in a couple months here. But it's gonna be a blast. And then we've got OPAs coming up, which I am fired up about. That's legit. What, a month away?
Yeah, from today.
Yep.
Or will land a month from today that we're recording this.
Crazy.
We got some. I'm excited, man. I feel like we've done. Okay, this is so weird. We've only done one, and I feel like we've done many. And I don't know why I feel that, but I feel like just this next school, we leveled it up so much from that first one with what we're bringing to the table, and the things that we're bringing to the athletes and the things they're going to walk away with, not just the education wise, but like we've got some really cool partners that joined in and are really going to help us out and make it, just above and beyond.
Yeah. And I'm we knew that was coming. Like that was like kind of the plan. I guess, you know, you can't plan for that type of thing, but you know, that's like what we wanted, but we had to get that first one out of the way first. And like now that I mean, I would call it a success 110 different ways. You know, the first one was a great success in our eyes, and we were able to present that to some people, and now other people can see our vision for it, and they're all about it. So
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that I feel the exact same way about, like, you know, it just feels routine. It feels like we've been doing these for years, and I think that comes from like a sense of purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like, man, we know this is where we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to be doing, and really this is just the beginning. But I mean, it does feel. It does feel like we've been doing them a while, so I'm super excited. We got a great group of guys coming this time, like super stellar. Not that we didn't have a great group of guys at the first one, but like, man, I'm really excited about these.
You just reminded me of that thing on Instagram. He's like, great group of boys out here.
We're all gonna die out here.
Hopefully nobody dies.
That might be true. No,
hopefully nobody dies. Hopefully nobody does, but we do have a good group of students coming, and it's gonna be awesome. I'm excited to spend a week in Colorado. It's been a minute since I've been out there. Get to hang out with the boys and get to teach some students. It's gonna be awesome.
You know, I feel like it's been so long since we've hung out. But like, when was the last time?
January.
Well, Houston. It hasn't been that long.
Oh yeah, Houston. Yeah,
it's been a month.
Wasn't even.
Yeah, no,
like
it hasn't been that
few
long.
weeks
I'm
ago.
Here like, I miss these guys. I haven't seen them in forever.
We literally said goodbye 30 days ago.
Yeah. 30 days too many, Paul.
Yeah, it is. It is.
30 days too many.
Yeah.
But no, OPA is gonna be awesome. We have a great group of instructors, couple new instructors, and I think we're gonna. I know we're gonna have some guest appearances from some guys that are gonna be showing up and you know, talking with the guys, and I know there'll be some world champs in that mix. No spoiler alert. Not gonna drop the names, but they're gonna be there and helping us out and doing all the things. So it's gonna be good. Man, it's gonna be awesome. Can't wait to get the content. Will be incredible. We're gonna put together a really awesome film for it, and kind of be able to show everybody, you know, again, what we did in this school and how it differed maybe from the first one. And if you guys haven't checked out or don't know what the Optimal Performance Academy is, our YouTube channel, Champion Living Fitness, just look it up on their search, and it's the first video on our profile there. You can kind of check out the ins and outs of what we do at an OPA.
Let's go. A lot. We did a lot.
Let's.
I had a realization. I just want to bring this up too, real quick. I had a realization, and I know before we started recording, we're kind of going over like podcast numbers and stuff, and you know, this is episode 85. So you know, we're getting close to that centennial 100 mark, which is really exciting because I feel like that. I think that literally puts you in like the top 1% of podcasts when you reach that mark. But we're also closing in on over 100,000 downloads. So thank you to everybody that's listening. But that leads me to say, I had a realization that like, this comes from listening back to some of our recent episodes. I was like, man, we kind of sound like we know what we're doing now instead of being so cautious, and I don't know. We sounded nervous on the first.
I don't know that I could go back and listen to episode 1, dude. It would make me feel so bad.
I'm not going to. It's like you can bury it in the archives, and if you want to go listen to it, by all means.
I went back and listened to like number 2 and 3 last week, and then I just pulled up these most recent ones, and it's night and day. It's
crazy.
It's funny though, because we're all, no matter what we're doing, like if we love what we're doing, and I love podcasting. Like I told Al the other day, I was like, even if we don't make a dime off this, like we have paid to do this every time. I told Al, I was like, I'll continue to pay because I just enjoy doing it. I enjoy talking with the boys. I enjoy you know, interacting with all the people that are listening and are asking us questions, bringing up topic ideas. Like, thank you guys also for interacting with that when we ask you guys in our stories and things like that. It helps. I've seen some people doing the polls and things like that on Spotify, that we have the questions there and answering questions for us, which is, it's all really, really helpful. And then we are tomorrow, then this will already be out, but we're announcing the t-shirt winners for our Apple review.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody that's been leaving reviews on there, that helps us a ton. And I really think that, I know we've talked about this before, but I think that we should start doing just giveaway every month for people leaving reviews on Apple.
Mhm.
And yeah, write that down.
Yeah.
That's an effect.
Give the
right
people
now.
what they
Duly
want.
noted. Yeah.
Free
So-
shit
so-
matcha.
Here's my realization. I don't know if you guys had this recently or if it came sooner, but like I don't get nervous doing this anymore. Like I used
No,
to
I
get
have a
like
blast.
super like
Fired
I'd
up.
get all sweaty before we get like start recording and stuff, and like be going over the like what we're gonna talk about like 1,000 times and getting all like just super nervous. And we're talking to a much bigger room now because our audience continues to grow. But it's like I don't know. It's like just old hat now. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Really enjoy it.
It's cool. It really is. It's a blast, and I hopefully we'll be able to continue to keep doing this for a good while. And dude, let's get into this today because I'm excited about this. Something we haven't talked about in a long time, and it lines up with nutrition. Talked a lot about working out in the past few episodes, but something I always run into with new clients is fear of carbs.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
so
And in my
scared.
best Bruce voice from Nemo, carbs are friend. Fish are friend, not food.
Carbs are food and friend.
Yeah, all of the above. Eat them.
Yeah.
But they get a bad rap, and that's just because of all the things, the fad diets, the trendy diets that are out there that are demonizing certain types of food groups, whether it's carbs, whether it's fats. Still, the only food group not to be demonized is protein, but they're probably coming for that too.
No, they're working on that. They are working on that. I
It's so
saw something
dumb.
on Instagram earlier this week.
You know who'll believe
they're
that? All the
definitely working
people
on
that made us turn the plane around to get off because they were scared to fly in the wind. yesterday.
Yeah.
That's who will believe
Yeah,
that.
that's the people. Yeah, you didn't even. You
That's
failed to mention that last night you were stuck on the tarmac for like what 6 hours or something.
Yeah, flight was left
That's
at 2. We
nuts.
took off at 11, and so they keep coming on. Yeah, sorry, we're sidetracked. That's right. We'll get back on it. But we're sitting there, and the pilot's like, "I can't even make this up. Like ground stop in Denver 2 times in one day. Like they're not letting anyone in, anyone out. The wind is too bad, or blowing the wrong direction. They can't land on the airport." Well, about the second time, people start rustling around and getting up and talking to the flight attendant. I'm like, "What is going on?" At this point, we've already gone back to the gate once, hung out for an hour, gotten back on the plane, went back to the tarmac, sat there again for 2 hours, and now people are saying that they're terrified to fly because of the wind in Denver. They want it off. So the pilot goes back to the gate, lets off about half of the plane, and then we sat there for another hour and a half, and we finally took off. And
That's
we made
crazy.
it. To all you pussies that got off the plane.
They're still on their
But,
way
you know,
there.
going back to the
You're
gate,
already
it
there.
just took us out. It took us out of the
Out of rotation.
like the order.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, perfect. So we're going back, so y'all can get off, and we can sit here for another hour and a half. Beauty,
Yeah.
America, love it.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. was a
I
little
saw
heated
Denver
about that.
Airport look nuts, dude. I saw some stuff on Instagram on stories that people were sharing, and it was like there was like a mile-long customer service line. Like it was just
It was still there at
absolutely
midnight when we got
insane. I believe it, dude. There was a bunch of people got like all the flights like canceled, like they were grounded. Crazy.
It's weird, man. It's so strange. I don't understand. I don't quite believe it all.
Birds aren't real.
That's a
Things
podcast
are
for another
happening.
time.
Yeah, I saw that post. the
I
other
don't
day
believe
about
in the wind
birds.
and
I was
birds
like,
aren't real.
No. Somehow I saw something and they're like, what is it? Man, we're so far down the rabbit hole. But some dude's looking at the sun. So he's like, that's the sun. He's like, other guy's like, no, that's Pluto. And I'm like, what is going on? The dude legit believed it. It's crazy. Maybe he was, I don't know. Anyways, let's get back to carbs.
Yeah,
Carbs. Well, we're talking about conspiracy
we've-
theories.
We've all
Yeah,
gathered
let's
here
get back
today.
to why
to
carbs
actually
are
talk
not
about
going to be bad
carbs.
for you. We want to eat carbohydrates, and the fear of them is honestly holds a lot of people back in their goals when it comes to aesthetics, health, all of the things. But bottom line, carbs are a friend, and they are one of the 3 macronutrients that are crucial for our survival, right? Our body needs this because carbohydrates represent the primary energy source our body needs to function. Bottom line.
Yep.
It's our body's favorite energy source.
Yeah.
Like our body loves to use carbs for energy. It's a preferred energy source of your muscles and of a lot of these functions that.
But we don't. I
go
mean,
on
we
in the
don't.
body.
We don't. You know, typically speaking, we don't know that, and so this low carb something, like usually keto, seems to be where people want to go for their weight loss, the next thing that they're going to try. We've talked about it 1,000 times on here. We're always looking for some sort of shortcut, and keto seems to have been super super popular. And like, this is the answer now. This is how I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to reduce my carbs drastically. But I mean, the crazy thing is that it's not new. There's stuff that goes back a long time about these like low carb diets, and we seem to think it's like this new thing that's come out over the last couple of years, which is not the case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember my dad doing the Atkins diet back in the 90s, and
Exactly.
keto is literally the same thing. It's
That
just
is
got a different
Atkins,
name.
Yeah, same exact thing. They just rebranded it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like what we're saying is, it's not. If you you can cut out carbs and survive on fat for sure, but it is not going to be your most beneficial way to lose weight, to gain muscle, to just live a healthy lifestyle. And also, there's a lot of studies coming out because the way that people are getting in ketosis now is by eating a shitload of butter and whole whipping cream, and it's not great for you, right?
I'm not gonna
so
lie.
people are
I've
like-
had butter in my coffee before. It's been
Well, me
years.
too,
No,
and
yeah,
it's
but
great.
it's great. I like that, but
I mean, I did the whole like intermittent fasting like thing for a while back in the day before I knew any different. And not that there's anything wrong with intermittent fasting, but and part of that was like I would try to eat super low carb, and I like put butter in my coffee, and that was like my breakfast,
Yeah.
and it was just a bunch of rigmarole. It was it's crazy how far I was misguided, honestly.
But here's where it gets out of hand, like what Doug was saying, and I know we're kind of going off another rabbit hole, but this is at least on topic. Like I've literally seen people that were like doing the quote unquote keto diet, and somebody would order pizza, and they would scrape the cheese and the bacon and the sausage off the top and eat that, but not eat the crust because it's stuck with their diet, quote unquote. Like
gross.
You're missing the point there. Like,
Yeah, missing it.
missing it big time.
Missing it big time.
Oh man.
That just boggles my mind a little bit, Paul. That someone
I've
actually
seen it
does
in
that.
real life.
Oh man. Okay, let's get back to carbs. That's wild. And people wonder why. Like, it just the common sense factor, I feel like, is just fleeting in extreme fashion. Like, goodbye. We don't think very commonly anymore. All right. So where do we like we're so off track now.
Well, there's so much that you can really dive into here about carbohydrates.
really is, too.
It's like it's so much. It's hard. But I mean, we have to understand that carbs are not the enemy. But like that's like first thing,
especially as athletes, right? Like how many rodeo athletes and bull riders that we see that are like, I'm only eating this much because I want to be 140 pounds, and I feel like shit when I get on. I feel so slow and lethargic, and okay, dude. When's the last time you ate? I don't eat on days I ride.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah.
Good.
Bingo.
So no fuel, nothing. Yeah, nothing to help you along the way. You expect your body to respond like an athlete, but you're not treating it that way, right? Because of some bullshit that you heard that carbs are going to make you fat and make you heavy. And it's probably your buddy or some old bull rider that told you that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Let's get the facts right. We need carbs. You have to have carbs for energy, guys. If you are girls, like anybody, if you are an athlete, a person, most likely you're under eating. And so we need to usually increase those numbers to produce those amounts of fuel so we can go and have the performances that we want. Also, there are huge mental benefits that come with carb consumption.
Yep.
On the other side, inadequate amounts of carbs can increase cortisol, therefore increasing stress while reducing levels of serotonin. See where I'm going here? It's not good. It's literally your body is responding in a poor way because it is underfed. It does not have enough fuel to do the things you want. Right?
I've seen people that like they'll they're not low carb or anything, but they typically don't have as many carbs at lunchtime, and they will actually have a higher carb meal at dinner because it's going to lower that cortisol and help them hopefully be able to get to rest relatively soon. And so I mean it's huge for all that stuff.
Well, especially as an athlete too, I think those carbs they're helping your body fuel the recovery on the other side. Not only are they fueling your performance, but they're helping take the protein and make sure the protein is used to recover your muscles. And you have to give your body those things, or again, it's just not going to feel like you want it to, or perform like you want it to. And we just run into this so much with this fear of, especially in rodeo riding, mounted events on horses, like people are afraid of being too heavy. And so being the people that we are, they go to the extreme of cutting everything out and then wondering why it's not working. And it's because we need to go the total opposite way and actually fuel yourself to perform. And carbs are an essential part of that. I do want to talk about the weight loss side of things, though. You may need to cut your carbs back depending on what what you find out when you start tracking your food and things like that. So, it's so individualized that we have to make sure that we're not sitting here saying you have to do this because it is different for every person. But you may need to cut back on protein and fat as well if you want to lose weight. So like all of these things you have to pay attention to all of them. You could be eating like the healthiest foods in the world, but your calorie intake is higher than your energy expenditure. You're not going to lose weight. And that's where I think we run into a lot of problems with keto, is because what you're eating is so calorically dense. And, I don't know what your daily output is. So you could be having, burning 500 to 1,000 calories a day tops, and you're eating 3,000.
So I want to speak on real quick, like why some people, not some people, a lot of people see success on things like keto, because like what are the high carb foods that that most people would generally think of? Maybe cheeseburgers, pizza, donuts, but like those aren't just comprised of carbohydrates.
Exactly.
They're mainly a fat source. And fat is way more calorically dense than carbohydrates are. And so when you cut out these major fat sources, even though you're making up for it by eating butter and bacon all the time, like you're cutting out a large chunk of these fat dense sources, and now you're able to lose weight. It's like, well, no wonder, because you're just cutting out your highest calorie food groups that you've been consuming regularly, and now your energy expenditure is in a deficit, or you're in a negative calorie balance, or negative energy balance, and you're losing weight. And they're like, whoa, well, keto works. It's like, well, yeah, but any calorie deficit works for fat loss. Like,
absolutely,
it doesn't matter how you go about it.
Yeah, you do that, and then you take away carbohydrates in general, which the majority of carbohydrates are made up of what? Water. So we stop eating a lot of fruit and vegetables and all that kind of stuff, and we lose a bunch of water weight. That's why you see such a drastic improvement in what the scale says on keto, especially if you're overweight. That's you see that in the short term. It's like, oh man, it works. Well, yeah, you cut out a lot of the high fat foods, like Paul said. You also have lost a lot of water weight as well.
Absolutely. And it does. I've seen it work multiple times, and it's usually, and I'm not long term, never seen the longevity part of that side of it. But my mom lost,
because it's hard from a habit perspective
like
to keep that up.
Yes. It's impossible. If you were anywhere but your house and in a very controlled setting, it is damn near impossible to make sure that you are being able to stay on top of keeping your body in ketosis, because it is not an easy thing to do. You have to, most time you need to have supplements that are going to help you stay in that ketosis.
And again, for athletes, it is not ideal.
Because that is not ideal. Not ideal. Really, what these elimination diets are great for are people that are sick or need to cut things out in order to really, really benefit them. And I've seen it. Yeah, I think it's what is it? Cancer patients. I think they use this sometimes. There's a lot of different things that they use elimination diets. I'm not. I don't mark me on that. I'm not 100% sure on
Well, I know
that.
that both the vegan people, I guess, like the people that are for like a vegan diet or the people that are for a carnivore diet will both make the same claims, like that they will help with autoimmune issues or like clear up these different diseases and stuff, and they might be right for the individual that they saw that effect in, but that's not unanimous across the board. Like everybody's food tolerances are very, very different, and so what works for somebody
Absolutely.
to eradicate a disease is not
Yep.
necessarily going to work for you.
Yep.
Amen. That's right on the money. What do you guys think? Like, how would you rate the quality of carbs you're consuming versus seeing the goals that you want? Is the quality of your carbohydrate important as just getting the numbers in?
Oh, it's huge. It's super. I mean, no, I think it's super important. I'm gonna say you can't tell me that like if you look at your carbohydrate goal of just say 200 grams of carbohydrates a day, and you want to get that, like you're gonna get that through something that's super super processed versus getting it through fruits and vegetables and some rice and sweet potato. Like we've got to keep in mind fiber here too. You know what I'm saying? Like that 100, the quality of your carbs absolutely matter, and that's the reason that a lot of people overeat carbohydrates is because it's super high in these high processed foods, and so it's really really easy to overeat carbohydrates in that situation. I don't know if I mean, I know you guys know, like to eat 300 grams of carbohydrates from fruit and vegetables and a little bit of rice,
Mhm.
like that's not an easy task. Like that's
Yeah.
planning your day
No.
out. And but to eat 300, if I was just to kind of raid the cabinet and like some of the kids snacks, and man, I can
get that from ice cream like
yeah,
in a few minutes.
for sure. Yeah, it doesn't take very long at all. But so I personally believe that the quality of carbs that you're consuming 100% absolutely matter.
I absolutely agree. And also the cravings that you get from eating those super refined sugars. It's a vicious cycle once you get into it, because your body starts to crave those things, the chips, the white bread, the candy, desserts, whatever it is. And they're made that way. They're made to make you want more. A lot of those are chemically engineered to trigger that in your brain, right? That response where you never get full really, but you always want more. And that's the really hard part about it. Is so easy to overeat on those things. And then all of a sudden you're in this huge excess of calories, and it makes it very hard to accomplish any goal, whether you want to lose weight or gain muscle. But bottom line, those sources of carbohydrates bring very little nutritional value. So if you find yourself eating a lot of carbs from unhealthy sources, then it might be time to cut back on carbs or make a significant change in the type of carbs you eat. Especially if you want to see fat loss, you have to be paying attention to that, and the quality is a huge part of that. In the end, it all really comes down to behavior and you actually cognitively being able to determine that if you promote calorie reduction and an increase in energy expenditure, effectively balancing those two things is going to help you become way more successful in your weight loss efforts. If you are trying to gain muscle, other way around, you have to go up. You know what I mean? We need to increase those fuel sources, increase our resistance training, increase our recovery times.
Yeah.
And then you're going to see a great increase in those things.
And-
Either way,
and if
though,
it's-
carbs
if it's hard
play
at
a
first-
huge role in it.
Yeah, if that's hard at first, like to cut out those foods, like just know that like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like there is a positive feedback loop. Somebody just posted in our Facebook group, I think yesterday or the day before, about how like they started to eat half of their dessert, and they said, no, you know what, I really don't want this, so I'm not gonna eat the rest of it. And that comes from fueling yourself with quality carbohydrate sources for a long enough period of time that like your body no longer feels like it needs to binge on these quote unquote unhealthy. I don't want to say unhealthy, but less healthy options. Because like there's a time and place for dessert. Like by all means, like if you're at a point in your journey where you can enjoy dessert, like go for it. Like I love dessert, but there, like what we were saying earlier, like if you are deep enough in this hole, like there is a time where you do need to kind of rein things in a little bit, so to speak.
I think making small changes. We've talked about this too, but we have a tendency to go all in, and it's really good for a week, and then that second week it starts to get really hard, and it's easy to die off, and then all of a sudden we're right back in our old habits. Start small, guys. One snack a day, change out for a different quality of carbohydrate or different or more protein or whatever it is. Okay, you did that consistently for a week. Sweet. Let's do 2 snacks now, that are now taking out a processed or really super refined carb and adding in a high quality carbohydrate like fruit or grains or starch or whatever. And then that Paul, that the post on our Facebook group was so awesome because it was a piece of chocolate cake, and she said this has been her weakness forever, and she has now been doing this challenge for it's almost 8 weeks. And she said she was able to order it. She took 2 bites of it, and her body literally was like, "That doesn't taste like it used to. That doesn't taste. I'm not getting the same response because." Over the last 8 weeks, she's created all new habits, a whole new routine, and her body is responding to that in a really positive way. And so you start introducing those things. It's really easy. Your body will let you know quickly. And there's lots of things out there now that I've cut out of my diet or I don't. Dude, and booze is one of them. Like I just don't drink near as much as I used to. And now when I do, my body's like, you don't like that. That's not you do not respond well to that. So I just not that I like I'm like I don't drink, but it's pretty rare that I have a drink anymore just because of how I feel and what I know how my body reacts to it. So I think people don't pay attention to that enough. They think it's normal to be tired, to be worn down all the time. And there's a million things that can play into that, but a huge part of that could be how you're fueling yourself and not eating enough carbohydrates. Or on the other side, we're eating too many processed, simple, refined carbs that are aiding our on the other side, right? We're not able to lose weight. We're not able to accomplish our goals, and it can be defeating, man. It'll knock you down if you don't have the right information, if you aren't able to take the actionable steps. But bottom line, it's simple. Like nutrition is very, very simple. You need to keep it simple in the foods, man. Like if it comes from the earth, again, keep outside of the grocery store, baby. Like stay on that outside of the grocery store. Try and stay away from those inner aisles where everything is meant to last for months. If we stay around the outside, we're doing really good, and that's going to have all your carb sources that you need. It's going to have all your fruits, your veggies, the bakeries there. It's going to have some breads if you want it. I always get a loaf of sourdough from them, but it's not Wonder Bread, which is sitting over there on the aisles.
Yeah. Odds are, if it is a really fancy package with bright colors, and then it's probably not what you're looking for.
It's probably not great. Yeah, marketing is too good these days, and they're allowed to get away with way too much. It's hilarious when you look up these things, and they're like, I don't know, vegan friendly, and they're like gluten free.
Yeah, they can put all the buzzwords they want on there. Yeah.
And then you flip it over, and it's got like 15, 16 added grams of sugar in it. You're like, what? How in the hell is this okay to put? This is the organic, whatever. I'm like, dude,
gluten-free milk.
It's so cool.
Right,
it's kind of like
buzzwords on there.
That's
kind of like
favorite.
that post.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, kind of like that post that Tasha made the other day in the Facebook group. She made a really cool post about like oils, cooking oils, and how like they can put 0 calories in this spray, like cooking oil or whatever. It's like, oh, it's got 0 calories, and it's like it's literally a quarter-second spray. It's like that's 0 calories. But if you spray the pan like a normal person to cover the pan, it's going to be the exact same as some of the other stuff. They're crazy with their. I mean, they're sneaky on the trickery to get you to. They can say whatever they want to or put whatever they want to on there almost to get you to buy their product. That's for sure.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, like we've mentioned the Facebook group now several times, and if you're listening to this and you're not a part of our Facebook group, you can scroll down into the show notes, and there is a link where you can access our Facebook group.
It's just totally free. 800 people community. There's 800 people, over 800 people in there right now, and we are. Growing. Yeah, it's been growing a lot, but it's awesome because it's all like-minded people. We're all kind of got the same goals, whether it's rodeo based, whether it's nutrition, fitness, whatever. And we're posting free information on there weekly from our coaches, trying to give you guys many tips, all the things. We do really love that interaction, guys. If you are going to join the group, join to interact, join to ask questions, join to get information out there. That's the whole point of the group. We love posting information, but when no one interacts with it, it's kind of like, all right, are we doing the right things? Like we don't we don't know, right? We need feedback from y'all. So get signed up for that, and get interacting with us. Like let's get as much free information out there as we can for people, and ask questions, any question. And if it's too hard, I'll answer it.
Yeah, I'll answer it.
That's awesome.
Okay, before we jump off here, my whole like little garage office area smells like fresh leather right now, and that's
Ooh,
because
why is that?
That's because I picked me up a pair of the Beastmaster rough stock boots.
Dude, those are sick.
Dude, they are so comfortable. I put them on this morning for the first time. I ordered them on Sunday, and obviously they're closed on Sunday, but they arrived literally 2 days, after they open on Monday. It comes on Wednesday, or arrives on Wednesday, and I'm like, shoot, that's about the fastest I've ever gotten anything.
Right?
But, I've used a lot of Beastmaster stuff before when I was riding, but I've never spent any money on quality boots, and so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna check out those rough stock boots because the reviews are all like 5 stars across the board. So
Heck yeah.
Picked them up, got them yesterday, put them on this morning. Holy smokes, are they comfortable? And I kind of want to go get on something, break them in a little bit.
Here we go.
Hey, tie these bad boys on.
No, that would kill me.
Well, yeah. Make sure check out Beastmaster, beastmasterrodeo.com. You can use our discount code CHAMPIONLIVING, all one word, save you some 10% on those boots. I don't know how much they cost, but boots in general these days, 10% is a good chunk to save. And any other rodeo needs, y'all, they've got them, the highest quality. Like Paul said, he had his boots in 2 days. Like they don't play. No. They get it out the door. They want you to have it. They want you to use it. So make sure you check out beastmasterrodeo.com, and thank you, Beastmaster, for partnering with us and supporting us. Definitely couldn't do it without you. Carbs, y'all, eat your carbs. Pay attention to your carbs. Don't be afraid of them. They're your friend, especially if you're an athlete. If you're an athlete and not eating carbs because you think it's going to help you in some fashion, I highly encourage you to. If you don't believe us, just do some more research, and I think you'll be your mind will be changed there.
Or ask us more questions.
Yeah,
like you can reach out to us. Absolutely.
Anything, any question you guys got, fire them away. That's what we love to do that. We love to answer things and help people out. But eat your carbs, pay attention to your carbs. If you want to gain muscle, eat them. If you need to lose weight, really pay attention to the quality of carbs that you're eating, and all of the above. It's not just carbs, right? We need to pay. It's all proportionately important, but carbohydrates seem to get demonized more than the rest. So we got your back, carbs. Guys, until next time, we'll catch you later.